like to formally request that we could be fucking done with Rumpelstiltskin and Belle as a couple on Once Upon a Time, because they are fucking toxic, and I don't understand how people can ship them and like Belle as a person. And I know that's very hyperbolic, and I have my friend who I love who's a huge Rumpelle shipper online, and I really would love to hear what you have to say, boo. Know who you are, boo. Because I need to understand how people can still care about Belle as a person and think that Rumpelstiltskin is a good match for her. Because this season of Once Upon a Time, this half season, has proved to me without a shadow of a doubt that Rumpelstiltskin ain't shit. And that he has not been shit as a romantic lead since the very beginning. Like, from the very beginning, I was like, you know, this is kind of shady. But since season 2 on, since they've actually had Rumpelstiltskin and Belle be together in for reals, it's been nothing but bullshit and him being abusive and lying to her constantly, never doing the right thing, ever. And yet everyone gives him a pass. Everyone's like, well, let's give him a chance. And no, Emma, he's changed, just like Regina. No, he hasn't. He's never gonna change. He's awful. He's terrible. He's mean. As a villain, excellent. I mean, excellent villain. Great. Let him just be evil and let him just be evil Rumple. Because good Rumple does not exist. This is why Mila left him. Mila saw the evil fuckboy in him the whole time, because everything he does, he brings upon himself. Constantly. Well, what about Regina? She's also do that stuff too. No. Regina has a lot of issues. I'm an evil Regal, and I love Regina, but even this season had me going like, okay girl, like, you still killed people and raped a dude. Let's not act like you and Zelina are on two opposite levels. Like, Zelina ain't shit, but you had character development. Zelina just is Zelina. You're not any better when it comes to some other stuff. Like, the difference between, in my opinion, between Regina and Rumpelstiltskin is that Regina has been, for as long as we've seen her character story from the beginning, has been emotionally and psychologically manipulated by everybody, every adult figure that she's had, to get her from being a kind, caring person who had the capacity to be good to being the evil queen. And what has helped her come back from that is that she genuinely loves Henry and wants to be a better mom, and that she does feel regret on some level about what she does. The weakness is that Regina's narrative is being told on a show that will not invest in letting that play out the way it should be. Like in the episode with Camelot where like the guy wanted to kill Regina because she killed his parents and he was the bad guy. I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, Regina should be punished for what she's done in a larger scale thing. But have everyone be like, we believe in you now. You're better. Still kill lots of people. We should deal with this, guys. We should deal with this, but they're not. And I've already accepted that. It's a flaw. But that's not Regina's character's fault. That is the writing around everything else. Everyone else should be treating Regina differently than they do, but they're just not allowed to. So I blame them. Rumple keeps doing dumb shit and keeps fucking up, and people will tell him, and people will, like, Mila was like, let's just fucking leave so that we can get a better life. And he's like, nah, I really like being here. And she was like, well, fuck it, I'm leaving. And then what happened? Everything went to shit because Rumple just could not get his shit together. It just, even discounting all of that, he has failed his son. He has made promises to Bellefire's grave like 16 different times. I want to be a better man. I'm going to be the man you should have had. I should be the father, the husband. You're not going to change. Just stop. Just stop. And I don't understand why people are still trying to make excuses for him. Like, I don't make excuses for Regina. Like I just said, like, she's still a rapist. She's still shady as fuck. She should be punished more than she gets. But at the same time, at least she's actually trying. Rumple doesn't try. And why is Belle written to be such a dumbass? This is a person who could do, like, grad school level research in, like, 2 seconds. And yet she cannot see the historical evidence in front of her face that shows that this is not going to work. And now, because she's pregnant, the actress, she's going to be pregnant in the storyline, she's going to realize that she's being manipulated, and it's just going to be even worse. I don't know why they are letting this happen to Belle, who is my favorite Disney princess. This is just tragic, and I don't understand why I keep watching this show. And it's even worse because Korra is coming back, and I need to watch Korra on my television. Like, Korra! the best. Like, still my favorite antagonist on the show because, and Peter Pan's coming back. They got me, guys. They got me again. Because, and all I wish is that Cora and Rumple would hook up. Because if anyone would appreciate Rumple's manipulation of people and use of all this stuff, it'd be Cora. Cora would fuck with this on so many levels. So just let them be together, free Belle, and let them be evil together as, like, you know, gold heart evil, and let Belle be free with her baby. Because this is just ridiculous. There's no reason for Rumbelle to still be treated as like a true love romance because it's not. This is not true love. This is awful, and I don't understand why we have to keep dealing with it. This needs to end. And if this next half season comes in and they're still trying to make Belle forgive Rumple again, I gotta say, they must really hate Belle and they must really love Rumple because if this shit continues, Belle's a fucking moron. And I'm sorry. And I'm not victim blaming her for it, but like the writing for her then wants her to be seen as a moron because there is no reason why she would believe Rumple this time again. I'm over it. And one of my friends from my job who loves Rumbelle, we were talking about once upon a time and she was like, yeah, I'm done. And I'm like, you can't help it. This is just too much. And I will say this too. Pretty much all the relationships on this show are boring. Like, Captain Swan, I mean, Colin is cute. Alright, he's hot. I'll admit it. But, like, Hook is boring. He's been boring since he's been good. Robin, whew, Lord, he is boring as fuck. Like, I thought I was okay with I Love Queen. I was like, alright, if Regina's gonna be straight, Robin Hood seems good enough. But he is just boring and sloppy as dried wheat. It's embarrassing. And like I'm not a Swan Queen shipper like that. Like I'm of course for having really interesting lesbian relationships on television. So I'm pro Swan Queen happening if they choose to make that happen. But the men they're with now, so boring. I don't get it. I mean, good for you, Regina, if that's the dick that you want, but like they need to do something with Robin Hood's character because he is so dry bread. I can't even deal with it. And then, on top of that, you know, they were like, we're gonna have an LGBT storyline. Where they don't even let Mulan say that she had feelings for a woman. It's just like, someone I loved. I didn't say, girl, just say Aurora. Like, I don't understand this. Like, how is this gonna be a gay storyline? I don't see not one girl-on-girl kiss, not one booby grab. Oh, because she's straddling Mulan. Ooh, la la, titillation. No, I don't give a fuck. The reason why people liked Sleeping Warrior was because of the relationship that happened between them naturally. That's called organic gay. Like, it was just perfect. And then when people were like, they could be gay, or they could have a polyamorous relationship with Philip, we were willing to keep his penis in the thing to just have it work. And they still couldn't do it. Then they want to put her with Ruby, who just appeared out of nowhere with that stupid ass explanation, and they want to put her with Merida, who is basic as fuck. I mean, her storyline was terrible. I don't know why they put her in there, but it was just awful. And I'm just like, where was the gay that was promised? Why do I keep... And then Merlin, who's black and gorgeous and sexy as fuck, dies. Arthur's storyline goes nowhere. Guinevere's still mind raped by him. They don't even deal with that at the end. Now they go to the underworld to go save fucking Killian for reasons because I don't know. And I hate myself that I'm going to be watching the other half of this season, but I'm just like, why? So much interesting stuff built up. Conclusion? Turd. And the entire time I was watching this season, I kept thinking like, why does Robin Hood want this baby? I mean, I know we can't talk about abortion on ABC Family. Well, we can if it's a Shonda show, but not on Once Upon a Time, because that would just be too intense. But like, I don't even say to force Zelina to have an abortion because it's her body, her choice. But I don't. Maybe it's a straight thing, like a really straight heteronormative thing. Because this also happened on Lost Girl when Camden got raped pregnant, and she was like, "This is my baby. This is my legacy." Why? Like, I understand that for many women, that is a choice that they would make. But then you also have on Jessica Jones where we had Hope take that abortion pill. And I was like, yeah, this makes sense. Like, you still want to have kids, you want to have a future with a baby, but not with someone who violated you. I think the problem that I have is that they won't use the goddamn words. Like, they won't call what Zelina did to Robin rape. They won't call what Robin went through as him being raped. And I don't know why. They don't call what Regina did to Graham rape. They don't call, like, the weirdness with Neil and Emma kind of what it would be. Like, depending on how her age fluxes, because the writing makes the time go weird, it could be statutory rape. That's never even a factor. Even in law school, like, you violated her. You raped her. Just say the word. Part of them not saying the word is, I think, in part a way of keeping it fun and goofy. Like, you can't be fun and goofy when you had a woman, she murdered his wife, and murdered her by, like, disintegrating her body. You know what I mean? Like, it was just so, like, whoop, don't even matter anymore. You're just gone. Like, just killed her, took her place, and you raped this person. And that whole storyline didn't make no sense anyway, because I don't understand how Zelina, being in Mary's body, was going to let herself get frozen to death. Okay, that was never discussed. But it makes no sense. And I don't understand, like, there's nothing for Robin Hood to do. It's like, it just seemed like more angst for Regina, like, and then they had to go do a background, like, oh yes, Regina can't have biological children, huzzah. Like, because that's why she had to adopt. Not just because she wanted to adopt, because she had to be infertile first and be broken as a woman. Just so Zelina could be like, oh my god. And then they're going to steal Zelina's baby anyway. So I'm like, so you're going to steal someone else's kid. That's cool. But having her have an abortion or anything like that, that would be extreme. So I went to Comic-Con, and I went to the panel because I was with a friend of mine who liked the show. And I was hoping that Lana Parrilla would be there, and that I could get to see her and be like, Lana, I love you so much. But no, it was just Jennifer Morrison. And I remember the panel, like, the fan base for a time is so eclectic. Like, it's a lot of, like, you know, non-binary people, a lot of gay people, a lot of drag queens dressed up there, and they looked amazing. And, you know, young kids and everything. So they have such a varying range of people who are watching this show. And I get to a degree that they have to be careful because of that. But it also seems disingenuous because you do bring up all these things. You bring up and you start off these really interesting stories. Like, this stuff with Arthur is genuinely interesting. But it goes nowhere. He just goes to being full psycho. Sorry to use that word. He just goes to being completely unstable. And his stuff with Guinevere is never finished. Even though that's interesting. They just focus on all the dumb shit.